On mo na kayo nakikita dahil camera nila. Okay, that's ilan ba yung for the first project? Fourth profile. For profile muna. So, kung sabay-sabay dito lahat, baka ma-social distancing tayo. So, yung sa first muna, then we'll call them when we are going to begin the 3D conference for the project. Fourth profile. We can add it ano. Okay, good morning. Madam Secretary, do you have a quorum?
Good morning. Yes, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum with the attendance of the following BAC members. We have Attorney Mark John Palomar as chairperson, Ms. Angelina Liose, vice chairperson, attending via Zoom, Attorney Diane Steffi Gilamon, regular member, Mr. Eric De Maculangan, provisional member, Ms. Josephine Pierre, regular member. Likewise, we have in attendance the head and members of the technical working group, head and members of the BAC Secretariat. On the part of the prospective bidders, we have representatives for the seismic accelerograph. We have Pilipinas Tectonic Safety Systems Corporation, AF Drill Techniques Instrumentation Corporation, IMB Philippines, did I forget something? Yes, Filipinas Tectonic, I already mentioned.
Attorney Solis, Asher Technologies is also
Asher, okay, Asher Technologies Incorporated. We have representatives from the same. For the body-worn cameras, we have representatives from Macro Vista Incorporated.
Messenger audio.
Contact Point Incorporated, and Boston Trade Incorporated. That's it, sir.
That's all the attendees.
Yes, sir.
Okay, proceed the foregoing. The chair declares a quorum. BAC number 032-2020 come forward. Madam Secretary, what do you have scheduled today?
We have 3 items in our agenda, Mr. Chair. Number 1 is the approval of minutes of the previous BAC meetings, HO-BAC-PGCS number 031, that's 2020, dated 27 July 2020. Number 2 is the pre-bid conference for the following projects: supply, delivery, and implementation of port profile and engineering system, supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of seismic accelerograph, and supply and delivery of body-worn cameras. Number 3 item is the post-qualification report for the supply and delivery of additional high amperage cables intended for 12 units generator sets with automatic transfer switch for PMO Mindoro.
Okay, let's have questions. Let's proceed to our item on our agenda, the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Shyla Solis,
Para yan sa SS.
Para sa ato.
Mr. Chair, can we move for the approval of the minutes?
Angie, have you completed?
Two minutes. Mr. Chair, can I move for the approval? Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the minutes of the BAC meeting HO-BAC-PGCS number 031-2020, dated when was this? 27 July 2020.
Second the motion, Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
I just approved the minutes of the dispatch meeting with position that two.
And Mr. Chair.
PGCS number 031-2020, are hereby approved as presented. Let's proceed to the next item of the agenda, the previous conferences. Great item.
For the supply, delivery, installation, and implementation of port profile and engineering systems, the same was posted in the PPA and PhilJEP's websites on 22 July 2020 with an approved budget for the contract of 35 million pesos. We have prospective bidders from Mara Labs, Mr. Diagono Federico, Sophia Mara, and Derek.
Who is their representative? Rico Diabono po from Marolots. Do you have any questions? None so far, sir. Okay, very solid. The next perspective leader.
Sir, only Mara Labs.
Only one. Okay. Relevant dates?
Please be informed that the deadline, that the opening and submission of bids will be on August 19. The deadline for submission is at 9 a.m. while the opening of bids is at 10 a.m. August 19, 2020.
Okay, thank you. The perspective leader for the profile engineering system is excused. Let's call in the perspective leaders for the next previous conference before the seismic accelerogram.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
kay Jerry lang, na-consolidate ba doon yung mga previous comments natin with the TOR, the support profile?
Can you repeat your question, Angie?
Yung support profile, sir, we made some comments before. If that was included, if those comments were included in the TOR, the support profile, like yung locally funded and R&M, differentiation of the project.
Lando Perez.
For today, yes, indeed, it was included. Okay. Attorney Solis, on to the next previous conference.
Okay, the supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of seismic accelerogram. The same was posted in the PPA and PILJEP's websites on 22 July 2020 with an approved budget for the contract of 75 million pesos. We have prospective bidders from Filipinas Tectonic Safety Systems Corporation, represented by Mr. Carl Jason Viray.
Where is the representative? Do you have any questions? Can you approach the microphone?
So good morning. I'm Dr. Anthony Flores, representing Filipinas Tectonic, sir. I just have a few questions, sir. This is regarding the, just to be specific, in the bid data sheet that was mentioned, that all bid blocks must be hard-bound. Considering the lockdown right now, it would be very difficult for us to have a hard-bound document we submitted. But we can suggest that ring time can be easier than hard-bound. So.
The one reason why it's hardbound, bookbound is to make sure that the pages cannot be easily removed nor can pages be easily included.
Sir, but sir, forgive me, with all due respect, with the MECQ,
we will not be opening the bids during the MECQ, so it will be scheduled after the MECQ.
But we still have to give it to the people who will do the hard bounding.
Yes. Because after the MECQ, we will not be having any proceedings during the MECQ.
Sir, August 19 is going to be the deadline for the submission, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. August 19. August 19 at 9 a.m.
Yes, and the MECQ is going to be finished on August 18. So there's nobody who can do the hard finding for us. Usually it is these people are along the university belts. There's none in the National Bookstore or what have you, sir.
Sir, sorry, can we schedule this on the following day?
Ah.
Because maybe for other perspective, we might have difficulty as well.
So
Instead of the 19th,
instead of 19, sir, August
August 20.
August 20. Okay, sir. Noted.
Okay. Will that address the cluster?
So some binding, because we've done it before, some binding a hole in a wall would take 3 days, would take 2 days. But you know, if it's going to be a problem, then we can find some alternative ways on how to bind it, sir, according to your specification.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can I also raise another question, sir?
Proceed.
In the TOR, it mentioned under the second activity, under deliverables or payment, we need to deliver and interconnect at the designated ports. We were given the names of the ports, but there were no addresses, I believe. Can we be furnished with the exact address also, sir? So that it's very crucial in our planning.
ASD, we provide the exact addresses of the ports.
And I think if we can be advised if these designated ports are manned 24/7, so that with our installation team or for our planning, we already know that there is somebody who will be there on that particular time.
You can coordinate with the ASD Department of PTA regarding that. So they're the proponents of this project, and they also have a list of all the areas in which the seismic accelerogram could be installed.
Thank you, sir. One more last question. We had experience of implementing projects during the lockdown, and of course, it is you need more than the usual patience and more than the usual manpower that you will be needing, and if in case during LGU lockdowns, while we implement the project, can we just inform PPA Central Office that there is a lockdown on certain LGUs so that the clock might not keep on ticking?
That is an extraordinary circumstance that's preventing from installing during that particular period. So on a case-to-case basis, you should communicate with the head office regarding any difficulty, as long as that it's not a difficulty brought about by your own doing. So if it's outside your control, let's just say that you lockdown, you need to immediately communicate with the head office.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those are just for us. We think it's very important that must be answered, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, the second, we have AF Drill Techniques Instrumentation Corporation, represented by Christine Bueno.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm Romano Palacio of AF Drill Techniques Instrumentation Corporation. May question lang po
Okay.
about the sa IT. Sa IT po. About this yung unit will equip with GPS. Okay. Actually, ang nasa IRR po is dalawa. NTP/GPS.
IRR or sa TOR?
Hindi po, nasa IRR mismo ng accelerogram. Actually, the way kaya ko lang narinig ito.
Okay. Anong IRR?
DPWH IRR 1096. For accelerogram.
Anong relationship ng DPWH IRR sa TOR ng PPA?
Yung pong kinuha yung specification is based on.
Pero, so yung sasabi mo, what is placed in the DPWH is different sa nakalagay sa PDA.
Hindi naman po difference. But what I'm saying is, sa interconnectivity po, you don't need to spend more. Kasi ang GPS meron monthly pa eh. But if you're going to use MTP, libre.
You're saying, nakalagay sa TOR namin is GPS and
With GPS, oo.
So you're saying, pwede naman hindi gamitin ng GPS.
Tama po. Dahil po may VPN din po kayo, may internet din po kayo.
Okay, well, required kasi din ng internet namin dahil sinicentralize namin.
Tama po. Yung po kasing global positioning, pwede na pong gawin yung internet. Kaya na po yung gawin yan.
Okay, so your suggestion is we include the other.
Yes, sir.
We will take that under advisement.
Kahit po yung IT nyo, alam niya.
Mr. Chair, if I may. If I remember it correctly, DPWH has two options, whether GPS or NTP, but while we prefer GPS.
So they have a suggestion, so we will take that under advisement. Should we decide to go with your suggestion, we will issue a bit with that. There are some now GPS and requirements.
No problem.
Okay. Any other question?
And also, again, if your VPN, meron po kasi kayo dito earthquake information reception to server function receive earthquake information from system via VPN line. Yung po bang VPN line, it works with TCP/IP, FTP, and STP. So you don't need VPS. I think ang GPS hindi nabibigay ng internet. Meron talaga.
Sabi niyo po internet lang. Pag internet lang at walang internet sa site, kasi sa remote sites po.
Actually, remote site, ito pong instrument natin, pwede mo siyang mabasa kahit walang internet.
Kailan po kasi ng
Pwede din po.
We will take that under advisement. We will discuss later on.
Sige po. So, meron po po isa.
Okay, proceed.
Doon po sa single largest, ang may ginamit po yata ito na 50%, which is about 35 million. So sa mga companies po dito sa Philippines, hindi ko nakakapag yung iba ko hindi ko naman nila lahat. Hindi ko kayang abutin yung 35 million na yung iba. Kaya yung ibang mga suppliers hindi nakakasabi. Ang practice sa DPWH that they are looking to a 25% and then aggregates. Yun po yung pinapractice po din sa DPWH mo. And we said yes, not also.
Technical working group.
Survey requirement po kasi kung pag binababa yung single largest, dapat under the GPPB dapat merong market study, mga ganon. So, sir, ever since naman lagi consistent yung PPA na 50% yung hinihingi niya as single largest completed contract.
We take that under advisement.
Kasi po, sa DPWH na ito. Kasi po, even Ayala cannot give that much amount.
Well, we will find that out if we will fail because they cannot qualify, and then we will take that under consideration because under the moment, the standard is 50%. Okay. Now, there are conditions before we can go down. So, should we have difficulty in procurement, we will take that under consideration. So now, we are following the guidelines where it's 50%.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And any other questions?
That's all. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Attorney Solis?
Okay, we have next prospective bidder, IMV Philippines, represented by Mr. Jason Rivera and Paulo Mariano.
Okay, please appear the microphone.
Good morning. My name is Paulo Moreno, sir, for INV. I have several questions or clarifications answered. Regarding compatible with existing TPA seismic aircraft system and integration system software. We have 3 questions there. How do we determine the compatibility?
Okay.
It should work.
So, kailangan mag-map kami sa current na aircraft.
Yes, sir. And you can also, see the existing setup of TPA. You already have a central monitoring.
And can we have the specifications for existing TPC seismic aircraft? Can we have yung communication protocol din para lang meron kaming basis kung magiging compatible yung system namin. Please coordinate with the ASB after the meeting. And next, yung sa part naman po ng aircraft must display the same information and features in the central monitoring system. Okay? Then we have the specification of the existing central monitoring software. Okay. So, coordinate naman.
Coordinate na natin.
Yes, po. And last lang po is yung certificate of compatibility and interconnectivity from the manufacturer or OEM. How can we get po yung system certificate from yung existing supplier since competitor nila? So how can we get the certificate?
The existing system being used by TPA is GP888 Alex by Takang Isawa.
Sa kanila po kami.
Yes, you can get the certificate of compatibility that we are requiring.
So with local lang po yun? Local din makukuha ng siya.
Coordinate with ASB.
Okay. Yun na po. Okay. Okay po.
Next is Wings Technology, represented by Brian Manalansan and Clement Fajardo.
Hello, good morning. My name is Clement Fajardo. Actually, our concern then is yung compatibility po ng system. What if in an event na hindi siya compatible? I'm sorry. What if, pwede po marinig ulit yung system na naka-in-place ngayon?
The existing system is GP888 Alex by Takang Isawa.
Tanong ko lang ma'am, if in case pwede namin baguhin, if pwede, yung current system.
No.
How many systems are in place?
Yes, kasi hindi na magiging compatible. So, babaguhin naman namin yung dati namin pagka binago yun. So, dapat compatible dun sa existing.
And how many current ABS are this? I mean, say, how many percent installed?
No, we have 22. Yes, we have 22 existing size units of the Celery Lab.
Ma'am, pwede mo kisama din sa iba if to conduct the visit?
Yes, you can check the existing system of PTA.
Okay, next is Azure Technologies, represented by Mr. Tato Sablan.
Good morning, Attorney Solis, Chairman John, Mark John Palomar. Can I give a quick background of Asher? Asher po is a spin-off company of a DOST shared and Mapua University project. So we have a lot of projects that involves these two agencies or these two organizations, including the Department of Public Works and Highways, because we got funding also from them. Currently, well, just recently, last year, DOST recommended us to have a spin-off company in order for us to make the technology flourish. And since 2016, Asher has been delivered to several institutions like government buildings, bridges, etc. So, yun po. One of my questions po, Attorney Solis, Chairman Palomar, is the mobilization. I saw in the milestone payment of the contract that 70% upon delivery of 24 seismic accelerograph units with global positioning system at the PPA head office. Is there a mobilization fee before this payment happens?
Very sorry.
Is it possible to have that? Hello?
Okay. PPA does not release mobilization funds per order of the DOTR. So, in compliance with the DOTR directive, we do not have any mobilization funds. So, you can bill for mobilization.
Okay. Sir, another question would be the eligibility. Like, although we are incorporated last year, we've been practically existing since 2016 with a lot of installations, successful installations in government organizations. Will we qualify as a bidder for this seismic accelerator? Oh, another thing, sir. We are the only Filipino-made seismic accelerograph in the country. Most of our those other vendors are imported. Kami lang po yung locally made. So, Pilipinas po.
What does the DOR require?
Hello?
As long
Yes,
as you meet all the qualifications provided, you have the for legal, you have all the requirements for legal, financial, and technical. You can join the bidding.
Yes, Ma'am, there's
And
this.
In your last question regarding the being the locally only local manufacturer, there is you can check the provisions on IRR on domestic preference.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are requirements for that purpose, sir.
Opo. Ma'am, with regards to domestic preference, so we'll just have to comply with the. I have another question actually, but can I ask it later on, Mr. Chairman? I just have to talk to our.
With confidence. So, okay. The time to ask questions to be answered now is now.
Okay. Bali, since so domestic preference is also can be considered. Yun. Ma'am, there is a specific item in the bid documents that says that similar SLCC that you only allow earthquake recording instrument installations to be part of that SLCC. Is it possible to change it to disaster preparedness projects? That will cover, because our seismic accelegraph is actually part of disaster preparedness equipment. Will that qualify, sir?
Preparedness projects which do not involve a seismic accelerogram.
Sir,
There might be disaster preparedness projects which do not include a seismic accelerogram. So it's possible you might qualify, but you don't have the particular equipment which we require. That's why that was the requirement of the ASB for the single largest completed project. So it's not simply disaster preparedness, but the ability to be able to deliver seismic accelerogram.
Yes, sir. Okay, so it should be a seismic accelegraph. Okay.
Yes.
We got it, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, very solid.
Okay, the next prospective bidder, we have representatives from One Commerce, Mr. John Felix Limbo.
There's a question here, used the chat from Christina Ramos. Do you require the bidder to do site survey? Is this for the seismic accelerogram?
Yes, sir.
If there's no desires to do a site
Yes.
survey, they coordinate with the ASB. So up to the bidder.
Again, point of suggestion. So instead of traveling to the site, can we require the plans?
With all in all these requirements, you coordinate with the ASB. So if you require additional data, whether it be through plans or the actual inspection, you just coordinate with the ASB. And they can provide that.
Thank you very much.
Okay, very solid. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. From NTEC System. No, this is for the body worn.
Okay, is there any?
Wala na po.
Okay, brilliant.
Wala na po.
Hello. Yes, can I have something, ma'am? This is Sandy Alonso from NTEC Systems.
For?
Body worn camera.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, very solid. Brilliant.
The dates. Okay. Please be reminded that the deadline for the submission and opening of bids for the seismic accelegraph is on August 19. The deadline for submission is at 9 a.m. Sir?
Can you move this to the following day?
Okay, so it's August 20, 2020 at 11 o'clock. The deadline for submission is at 9 a.m. The opening of bids is at 11 a.m. August 20, 2020.
Okay, very solid. On to the next. Body worn camera.
Okay, for
leaders for the seismic accelerogram for the
the supply, delivery, installation, and commission websites on 22 July 2020 with an approved budget for the contract of 170 million pesos.
Okay.
We have, yes. The first in the list is Macro Vista Incorporated. represented by Mr. Padilla, Ronald.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair and the rest of the BAC committee. So this is Ronald Padilla of Macro Vista Incorporated. So we have just a couple of questions here. Actually, I divided into three. So the first question is about the eligibility, but particularly on the SLCC part. This is, I think, under the terms of reference at number 7 on the requirements and portion number 3. It says there, Mr. Chair, that must have completed a single contract similar to the contract to be whose value must be at least equivalent to 50%. Then mentioned there that for this purpose, a similar contract means contract for the supply and delivery of body-worn cameras. So that term body-worn cameras, Mr. Chair, we would like to note and request to at least consider if we can change it to either ICT or surveillance equipment, since we know that so far in the Philippines right now, there are no other, I think, based on our record and market studies, if you are not a winner of the PNP or I think this agency, you will still not have that kind of SLCC even at least 50%. So I would like to ask Mr. Chair and the rest of BAC committee if we can, simplify it to surveillance or generalize it for surveillance or ICT, information and communication technology equipment.
You will take that under advisement. If we so decide to change it, you will show it to. Right, so now it's as stated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, okay. My second question is, I think it's more on the technical side. I believe we have a technical person here. So it's, I think it's also part of the terms of reference. So I'd say there are two sets of, more particularly in the facial recognition part. So I understand we require a camera that is capable of facial recognition. And you also mentioned, I think, in letter P and letter Q, I believe it is a different items also. A first item that is capable of facial recognition also. So I would like to ask Mr. Chair if somebody knows what is the purpose of this facial recognition. It says there is stationary facial recognition because we only look for at least 5 units. I just want to clarify kung para saan po ito.
Para saan ang facial recognition?
Yes. Yes, particularly dun sa 5 units na it says that stationary facial recognition.
O ito yung Mr. Chair, these are the units that can be deployed anywhere with facial recognition, capable of facial recognition. A mobile siya, in other words.
So these are not worn, these are carried to a site and then they are deployed. So the head office can observe the proceedings in a vehicle.
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's actually deployable to anywhere in the Philippines within our ports.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Chair, since it is different items because it is different from the body cam. So would it be possible if the end user can consider to operate that kind of items in different system, not integrated to the
what we have in our body count system.
It should be integrated, Mr. Chairman. Okay.
That's noted, Mr. Chair. For the last time, actually, just for clarification, sir, it's more on, just want to check for future updates if the posting of the new memorandum for MACQ, it will be affect this bid. Just to prepare, sir. What it be, there's an effect for the schedule or there's ganun po ba? Hindi, just want to check, sir, kung may mga pagbabago sa, for example, schedule dahil sa dineclare na MACQ.
Well, we won't be, if the schedule of the opening is during the MBCQ, that will definitely be moved. After the pre-bid conference, we will be announcing the date. We will be reminded of the date of the opening, the delegate submission and the opening of the. Okay. But it definitely won't be during the MBCQ. Okay. Sorry?
Okay. The next is Contact Point Incorporated, represented by Cesar Manuel.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the Bids and Awards Committee. I have a few questions. First is a technical question referring to page 70 of the bidding documents. It's about the bandwidth. I worked in a telecom company before, and I am an ECE. May I clarify, if I may, Mr. Chair and members of the BAC, the codec to be used for the video streaming? The reason why I ask that is because there are standard, industry standard minimum bandwidth for different countries, and we would like to deliver the requirement, or if not the minimum, we could even propose a better one. But of course, we have limitations with regards to the existing technical infrastructure of the telecommunications company, and we would like to conform with that limitation. So my question is, first question is, what codec will you use for the video streaming so we can adapt with our with the product that we will be delivering?
Okay. ASD, ITTD.
We will just issue a bulletin on your question on this and the type of codec that will be.
Yes, and I would like also to manifest that we will be sending you a letter for our queries, because so you can have a detailed you can study in detail our technical question. So just to add for the codec, it's compression algorithm, because sir, if you don't mind me explaining a little, very quickly, sir. Okay lang po ba? Tagalog ko yung iba para mas mabilis. Okay. Ang CBU po kasi, fax, yung panahon noon, ang minimum requirement po niyan is 14 kbps. Ibig sabihin, mag-send ka ng image sa fax, hindi na lang makakarating doon sa destination. And that's what the law enforcement is using for a very long time, specifically for the Philippine National Police. Nagkakaroon ng issue, hindi nakakarating because the bandwidth that was used is very minimal. Hindi pa kaya ng telecom natin. When it improved,
Also, sa video, meron namang procedure na ginagawa para ma-transmit. And I think the 9 kbps is too small. Although my succeeding question will be on page 75 for the proof of concept. So I will include that in my written queries, sir. Okay. To proceed, sir, you may allow me for my next question. It will be on page 75. If awarded the contract, the following must be submitted. Clarification lang po ito regarding the schedule. Awarded yung contract meaning after notice of award or notice to proceed. So page 75, yung testing parameters, kasi yan, i-invest na namin lahat ko, bibili na kami para ilatag na. Will that be for the inspection and acceptance?
After notice to proceed, sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, yung ibang tanong po, similar din po sa tanong ng ibang prospective bidders. We'll take note of that for the MBCQ. And the other questions, kasi puro technical, para mas mahimay po ng impact, we'll do it in writing as soon as possible, sir. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Next.
Next perspective leader.
Okay, we have Boston Home Incorporated, represented by Dalia Ubay.
No question. Okay. No question. Personally, the next one.
Okay, Digital PH 101 Incorporated, represented by Samantha Reyes. Ruel Rodolfo.
Morning po, correction lang po. Maria Consignado po, Digital PH 101. Sir, for clarification lang po, doon sa bid data sheet 20.3 regarding sealing of bid documents, may I ask po if ang nakalagay po kasi dito is processary sealed bid envelope. Ibig sabihin po ba nito, lahat po ng technical documents nasa isang bid envelope and lahat ng financial documents matasama rin po sa bid envelope, original and the 6 copies, or yung isa po is original envelope and then yung 6 copies nasa isang envelope din po.
Lahat ng mga technical document, isang envelope, and lahat ng financial document, isang envelope. Pero each of the technical, di ba magsasubmit ka ng 7, including 1 original and 6 duplicate. Dapat isa sila, individually sealed din sila. Tapos i-seal mo pa rin siya sa isang envelope pa rin.
Okay lang. Thank you po. No further questions po.
DGL Veracity Systems Corporation, represented by Mr. Ruel Rodolfo.
Good morning, Chairman and Committee. Just want to follow up the request of the first prospective bidder, about SLCC. If it can change or we can make it surveillance for ICT products also.
It will be discussed later on, and we will be subject to it should we change the SLPC.
Thank you. Okay, no more further questions.
Very sorry.
Okay. Last is Entech Systems Incorporated, represented by Mr. Saldi Alonso.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am. My question is already asked by the first bidder, Mr. Macrobista. And added to that question is regarding the SLCC, ma'am, could be aggregated to 25%, ma'am.
Can you repeat the question?
The SLCC would be 25% aggregated. So to make it 50%, sir, 25 and 25, or to make it 50%, would it be aggregated to other contracts, sir?
One single.
If I may.
Yes, very much. Proceed.
The requirement is one single largest completed contract. Hindi po pwede yung aggregated po.
Equivalent
Kasi
to 50%.
yung po, ano pa yun yung RA 9184 po, nagre-require ng single largest completed.
Okay. That's all, ma'am. That's the only question that I have.
Okay, Secretary, any more questions?
Sir, that's the last
Hello.
bidder. You have.
Good day. Hello, Miss
Yes.
Lolita.
Yes.
This is Jonathan po from One Commerce International Corporation po.
Okay. One Commerce.
Yes po, International Corporation.
So you're also interested sa body-worn cameras?
Yes po, opo.
Okay.
I have question lang po about sa what is the approach po dun sa sorry. Hello po. Yung approach po about po sa NTC registration po for the body-worn cameras po. Is it okay po ba na to follow po yung NTC registration or the certification po? Since mag-undergo po siya sa certification pa po.
ASC, please address the question.
Sir, we will be needing the NTC registration for the body-worn camera if we will be awarded with a contract. So we need that.
Okay po.
Okay, anyone else? Very solid.
That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, relevant dates.
Actually, the schedule falls on August 18. So I have to prepare August 18, 2020. So I have to prepare still a supplemental bid bulletin, and we will post it at the PhilJepsen.
Please monitor posting. So we will be scheduling the deadline for the submission of the bid and the opening of bids, considering that August 18 is NBC bid. Okay. This ends the pre-bid conference for the supply and delivery of body-worn camera. The prospective bidders are excused. Also, those prospective bidders attending via Zoom for the other projects, they are also excused. Thank you. Okay. Before we proceed to the next item on our agenda, let's discuss the points raised. For the 6 microcellular, the use of GPS and the alternative, ASP. GPS. Regarding GPS, so yung sinagot mo kanina na there are areas, kasi yung suggestion nila, we don't need GPS for the location kasi pwede siyang going over the internet. However, there are certain areas na wala tayong internet, so hindi kaya natin ng GPS. Pero we also require the interconnectivity. So, paano yung mga areas na wala ng internet, paano yung ma-transmit? Yes, there's so that's a separate requirement from yung GPS and yung alternative. I mean, alternative niya, sinabi niya na so, it's internet yun. So, yung sagot mo, there are sites which do not have internet and such. Relevant atin yung GPS. Okay. Other.
Mr. Chair, if I may. Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, kay Mr. Jerry, hindi ko kasi maintindihan lang yung bang installation, di ba, nationwide, kailangan ba lahat may isang central station ba to? Ganun ba yun? Para dapat compatible lahat?
Hindi, yung reporting kasi, dito lahat ng bagsak net sa head office. Meron na tayo dito sa second floor. Bali, dinagdagan mo lang yung existing mga floor.
So dapat maging compatible siya dun sa system that we have sa head office.
Tama. Yan yung require ng ASD para isang system lang.
Pero Mr. Jerry, yung sa other PMOs, kunwari, same specs, ano? Pero yun bang system dun sa ibang lugar, I don't know, internet-based, kaya ba nila? As far as...
Ang existing ngayon MPLS, kasi connectivity tayo sa mga PMO. May connectivity tayo sa PMO. Yung unang ni-roll out, may connectivity tayo. Hindi siya internet, gamit nila yung wide area network natin.
Tapos meron pa siya yung tanong yung tungkol sa facial recognition. Parang hindi ko alam kung nasagot natin siya.
Hindi sa seismic yun.
Sa seismic yun. Okay. Sa body worn, sorry.
My facial seismic.
Sorry.
Okay. Tapos yung sa SLCC, well, yung sinabi niya yung disaster preparedness. So, medyo malayo naman yun. Hindi pa natin disaster preparedness may seismic. So, we will retain the required anong requirement na seismic lang. Okay? Agreeable, everyone? Any comment?
Attorney Mark, isang general comment.
Okay.
Napansin ko lang yung pagka yung may mga tayo pre-bid, lagi nagtatanong ng if they can have the site survey, the plans, and the addresses of whoever will be the contact person at the PMOs maybe. Can we include, if ever, dun sa TOR, that anything about these things would be coordinated with whom? Let's say at ASD, contact person, para yung ganon.
Right. It goes to the same president. Okay. So, okay. For the seismic accelerogram, wala tayong issue bid bulletin. Other than yung bid bulletin para sa schedule ng opening, deadline of submission and opening. Okay. Meron bang ibang issues na ni-raise sila na hindi ko na-discuss? Or yun na yun? In the long run? Okay. Okay. Okay, sa supply and delivery of body-worn cameras, SLCC. So, ang nakalagay sa atin is body-worn. Ang request nila ay surveillance. So, ano? So, kailangan specific talaga sa
mas maganda kasi specific sir. Kasi kung sinabi natin ito about surveillance camera, maaaring siya improvise or ikamplis to lang or sa area ba yun. That na yung surveillance camera na ito. Kung sinabi yung body worn camera, sa katawan mo. Okay. Okay. So dapat may capability sila na specifically deliver, hindi lang yung stationary na surveillance.
Yeah, so kasi once we monitor, may specific for security and emergency purposes.
Okay, so a body-worn camera system is more technical than a surveillance system. So, and we require that technical capability, and that's why we're requiring that as the SLTC. Any comments on the other back members? Okay. Bandwidth. Okay, so i-address nyo na lang pagdating. Okay. Ngayon ba, hindi ko na bring up na points na ni-raise na sinabing i-discuss natin. Okay? Wala? Let's proceed to the next item, post-part report. Technical working group, are you ready to submit the report?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Proceed.
Post-qualification report on Mindanao Laboratory Services relative to the supply and delivery of additional high amperage cables intended for 12 units generator sets with automatic transfer switch for PMO Mindoro under BAC PGCS 179-2020. Based on the duly approved bid evaluation report and as per instruction of the BAC, the TWG conducted a post-qualification on July 31, 2020 on Mindanao Laboratory Services. After verification, it was established that the bidder complied with all the legal, technical, financial, and other requirements for the said procurement. Further, Mindanao Laboratory Services is not included in the list of blacklisted entities as of July 31, 2020 per GPPB website. Based on the result of the post-qualification, the TWG recommends that the bid proposal of Mindanao Laboratory Services at its calculated bid price of 8,490,700 pesos be declared as the single calculated and responsive bid pursuant to Rule 10, Section 34 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption and approval of the TWG recommendation, recommending that the bid proposal of Mindanao Laboratory Services with a calculated bid price of 8,490,700 pesos be declared as a single calculated and responsive bid pursuant to Rule 10, Section 4 of the 26 revised IRR of RA 9184.
Second the motion, Mr. Chair.
It has been moved as seconded that after recommendation of technical working group as contained in their post-qualification report on the laboratory services, do I hear a petition thereto?
None, Mr. Chair.
There being none, the bid proposal of Mindanao Laboratory Services that is calculated bid price of 8,490,700 pesos is hereby declared as single calculated and responsive bid pursuant to Rule 10, Section 34 of 2016 revised RRR with the subject act number 9184. Secretary Silva instructed to receive the preparation of the necessary notice and anything else?
None, Mr. Chair. That's all.
This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney Solis, kumusta ka?